Welcome back to the DFS Sweatshop. I am your host, the DFS Jerusalem, and you can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Jerusalem. Uh, we have approached a time of the year where this is All-Star break, so we're not going to have much basketball this week. I'm sure that they're going to do this Rising Stars or the USA World slate along with the All-Star game players. And it's probably going to be a little fun. I'm going to play it because I'm a degenerate and I've got to play some form of daily fantasy sports, especially when it comes to basketball. But we've reached a point in the season, man, that I'm very excited about. I don't know if you noticed, but the MLB spring training starts next week on Friday. I believe it's the 24th. 24th, we're going to have our start to the spring training. And you know, you don't have to watch spring training. Well, you do, but it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking to find out who's going to be the best hitters, who you're going to have to keep an eye on. It's not like NBA at all. It's not like NBA preseason is kind of a must watch, or NFL preseason is kind of a must watch. Pretty much all of the major players on teams are already set. The best thing you can learn from spring training is who's going to be the up and coming pitchers, or some of the up and coming pitchers actually. That's really it. The up and coming pitchers. All of the hitters and the guys that are good, they're going to be good. That it's very analytics and stats driven league, so that's very easy to check up on. And if you have been playing NBA with me, especially if you've been locked into the sweatshop and you've been playing NBA all season long, those wheels are already turning, and you're used to making decisions on the fly. You're used to quick flips, and just the fact that MLB season is 160 some odd games, you probably feel a little intimidated. Well, I'm gonna tell you, MLB is much easier than the NBA. It is by far. It's much easier. The research is a lot easier. The actual gameplay is much easier, and probably the best couple of things about it is we've still got late swap. We can move shit around if we need to, and pretty much it's set in stone. Like NBA, you think a guy's going to be starting, or a group of guys are going to be starting. By 12 o'clock, it's something different. And then by 1 o'clock, it's back to the way it was. And then by 3 o'clock, they're not playing at all. And then by lock, if you don't know what's going on, and then five minutes after lock, you get a whole different shit. You get a whole different thing. And, MLB is just not like that. Probably the biggest concern you're going to have in Major League Baseball DFS is the weather. That is the most, because, of course, these players are subject to the elements. So you're gonna have issues with weather in some spots, but Twitter is so handy, social media is so handy that you're gonna be able to navigate through those storms, no pun intended, and able to put together really good rosters that you like. Now, the one thing is that I can tell you about the weather situations is a lot of times, so many of us have been burned by weather concerns in so many different ways that a lot of times, if people even think a game maybe delayed, maybe postponed, they're not even going to fuck with them. But a lot of times the game still plays. So sometimes if you stick to your guns, you can get guys at really, really low ownership when it comes to MLB. But what I want to do, man, and this is no insult to all of y'all in the sweatshop. I know y'all some savvy DFS players. I'm sure many of you have played MLB, but I've got some cats rolling with me this year that I'm sure have not played MLB, and I want to take them with us on this money making mission as we not only take over basketball, but we take over MLB and then we roll into football. Shout out to Coach Stewart for your help with the golf. I'm cashing right now because of your golf plays. So, what we're gonna do, man, is we're just gonna go through some quick, things that we really need to know when we're playing. We're playing MLB DFS, right? Now, to really get into it, in each contest, the participants will create a lineup by selecting players listed in the player pool. Same way we do with NBA or NFL. The same way we do it, right? You got a player pool, and what you've got here is each player has a salary, and the valid salary cap must not increase 50K. So just like basketball, you've got 50K in salary, right? But you've got 10 spots here in MLB. So a lot of times, I always have to say keep it 300 because you want the players to get the players to get 6x their buy-in. Like if a guy in basketball costs $5,000, you want him to get 30 points. You want to turn that 50K in DK salary, DK dollars to give you you want that to translate into 300 DraftKings points. Well, baseball is a little bit different because if you're around, let's say if you're around 120 to 140, you're good. You're good. If you're around 120 to 140 consistently, you should be fine. So I'm going to say, when we talk about baseball, we're going to try to keep it 130. 130 is a really nice way to go. That's really nice. So if we do the math on that and we say, 130 points, I got to calculate out, divided by the 50K in salary, right? 2.6. So you want to get about 2.5, 2.6x value from all of your players. Let's say you get the 50K in DraftKings salary. You want them to get 130 points. That's going to really, cash you on most nights where you want to be. And, the only thing about this is, in basketball, there's not this one position that's important over everyone else. And there kind of is. This is the point guard position. The point guard's the first guy to handle the ball is really big. But in baseball, it is the pitchers. If you get your pitching right, it opens up so much room for you to put together a really nice DraftKings roster when it comes to the other hitters, because you got 10 spots. 2 of them are pitchers. You've got a catcher, a first baseman, a second baseman, a third baseman, a shortstop, and 3 outfielders. Now, the next video that I do, we're going to get into some roster build strategies because, of course, we use the core 4 system with this too, but we just combine the pitchers into one because we want to win. We want to win pitching. We want to win pitching, and we're going to combine one of our core 4 is going to be 2 pitchers because we want to win the pitching part. If we win pitching, we can do the rest. So we're going to win pitching, and then we're going to have 3 hot bats. That's going to be our core 4. So it's really 5 players, but it's still a core 4. Pitching counts as 1, and then three hot bats. And I'm going to get into that in our next video. We're going to be dropping these, I think just about every day while we're on the All-Star break, because I want to give you something to look forward to. I know you want to be playing some NBA, but you can definitely look forward to MLB, man. It is really dope. I'm sure you're going to enjoy it. That's where this show actually started from. Having a really, really nice run with some MLB stuff, man, and see, I love small ball teams. A lot of people think, oh man, I gotta get Mike Trout. Oh, every time I play, I gotta get the best power. I get the Cespedes. I gotta get the best power hitters in the game, and that's cool. Those guys can hit home runs, But think about it, it's 165 games. Most cats are not gonna hit anywhere near like 40, 45 home runs. So if every night you roster those guys, yeah, you're gonna get 40 home runs out of them. The times you do roster them, if you roster them on the right nights. But the small ball is the way to go, bro. I love teams like the Houston Astros. I like the Braves, the Indians. Teams that just want to get on base and play baseball like on some sandlot shit. Guys like just, I love those type of teams, and that's where I really make my money. Those are my bread and butter squad. So let's go ahead and get into that. The roster requirements, we talked about those. The roster will consist of 10 players and must include players scheduled to play at least 2 different MLB teams. So you can't just stack. But stacking is good. It's something we're going to do every slate. Rosters must have no more than 5 hitters from any one MLB team. So you can't just go straight 1 through 6. You can have 5 hitters from one team. You can't just go 1 through 6. And we're going to talk about that too in our next video when we talk about the lineup construction and the actual construction of the lineups strategies. The 10 roster positions are 2 pitchers, a catcher, the first base, second base, shortstop, third base, and 3 outfielders. Scoring rules. Now the hitters will accumulate points like this. A single is 3 points. Guy gets a base knock, bop, that's 3 points, right? A double, 5 points. Stand up double, get the second, 5 points. A triple, going around to the triple, that's 8 points, right? A home run is 10 points. Dude lines it up, knocks it over the wall, it's fucking 10 points, right? But here's where more math is included, because an RBI is 2 points. So think about it. If a guy hits a home run, not only is he hitting a home run, he's batting in a run. So he gets 12 points. Well, if a guy hits a home run, he batted in a home run, 2 more points, and he actually runs around the bases and scores the run, that's 14 points. So a home run, one dude solo shot, a solo dong. You're gonna hear that a lot, dong, and don't get worried. It's a dong. It's just a home run, dong. You know what I mean? So a guy hits a dong, and that's 14 points for one guy. That's just what it is, right? So um, let's get this brighten this back up so that you can see everything clearly. Okay, good. So guy hits a dong, bam, that's 14 points. Well, a base on balls. If the guy gets four balls, he takes 4 balls, that's 2 points. If a guy gets hit by a pitch, that's 2 points. If a guy steals a base, that's 5 points. And when we talk about roster construction, man, do you see like the biggest way a dude can score without actually making contact with the ball? The biggest way a guy can score without actually making contact with the ball. That's right. You see it. A stolen base. So we want to know who are the better base stealers in the game, right? Because we want to have, and generally those are guys that hit in the one hole. So those guys are just trying to get on base so they can steal. So we've got to know who those guys are. There's one in Washington, Trey Turner. He's really good at it. We've got the guy in Indiana who's pretty good at it. My man in Atlanta, he's pretty good at it. Most of these guys in Ciarte, most of these guys are leadoff hitters. So most of the time, after we hammered on our pitching for the first spot in the core four, which is 2 players, I normally go to the one. I gotta have whoever the best base stealing one on any given slate, the guy that hits in the one hole. I'm gonna have me some of him, right? So and think about it now, because a lot of these things happen while somebody's already on base. A guy can hit a home run, a 2-run shot, where he's going to get the extra points, and the guy that's in front of him that he batted in is going to score as well. So that is the scoring rules as far as the hitting is concerned. Let's run through it one more time just so you know. A single is 3 points. Guy gets a base knock, 3 points. Double, 5 points. Triple, 8 points. A home run is 10, but it's really 14 because he bats in a run here, and he also scores a run himself. That's 14 points. Base on ball. Guys take four balls, 2 points. Hit by a pitch, that's 2 points. A stolen base is 5 points. So we want to get guys in our lineups that can steal bases. Pitchers will accumulate points as follows. And remember, there's no defensive stats here. There's no, you get nothing for catching it out or a triple play. You get nothing for that. It's just strictly offense is what we're doing here as far as MLB is concerned. Now, pitchers, an inning pitched, if they make it through a complete 1 inning, they get 2.25 points just for the inning. If they strike a guy out, they throw 3 pitches by him in the strike zone, that's 2 points. If they win the game, this means that they pitch more than 6 innings and actually and the team has a lead when he gets pulled. Say a guy goes 7 innings and the score is 4-0. He's pitched, didn't allow a hit, and his team scored 4 runs, and he gets pulled off, and the guy comes in, closes the game. He gets the win, and he gets 4 points. Not the guy who came in and closed the game, but the actual pitcher who set up the closer gets 4 points. An earned run allowed. This will hurt you. Okay? Earned run allowed means the pitcher gives up a run. He gives up a home run. He gives up a couple base hits, and the guy scores or whatever. Minus 2 points. You lose 2 points. So you can like totally wipe out a great inning. You can wipe out a great inning by giving up a couple of runs. So that's why when they tell you don't start a pitcher in Coors on either side, it's real. It's real. Don't start a pitcher in Coors Field. That's the most contrarian thing to do. Actually, the most contrarian thing to do in an MLB is to start a pitcher and then start a batter that the pitcher is going to be facing. And you're gonna have to do that on some nights because they're gonna be like late game slates, and you gotta do it. But on a regular slate of games, never do that. Never start a pitcher that's facing your batters. Never start a batter that's facing your pitcher either. That's stupid. They'll never do that. All right, so the win gets him 4 points. The earned run allowed is minus 2 points when he gives up a run. Minus 2 points. A hit against him. Every time the pitcher gives up a hit, that's 0.6 points he's given up. Every time he gives up a hit, that's 0.6 points he's given up. A base on balls is 0.6 given up. he's giving up. He's losing .6. So these are minuses. These are going against you. When he hits a batter, he gives up .6. When a guy pitches a complete game, he gets 2.5 points. Now, a complete game is like just straight from the first to the ninth. He just pitches a complete fucking game, plays the whole game. You know, doesn't have to, but he has to get the win. He has to get the win in order to do that. I believe he has to get the win. Complete game shutout, 2.5 points. So you can score all of these with one pitcher, and it really happens. A no hitter is +5 points. So when you see all of these ways a hitter can score, right? You see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 ways a hitter can score. But you see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, you know what I mean? That a pitcher can score or to have points taken away from him. That will let you know how valuable pitching is to your MLB rosters. So in the next video, we are going to talk some strategy where I'm going to give you a lot of my core 4 roster building strategy when it comes to the MLB game. And you've got to pay attention. This is going to be some heavy shit. This is what really took me to the money last year. Remember, a few points from this video. The one thing, we're going to keep it 130. We want to keep it 130, right? That is 2.6 times our complete DraftKings buy-in. Our DraftKings salaried amount. We get to give us 50K. We want to keep it 2.6 times that, which is 130. We went over the scoring from the hitter to the pitcher. In those two aspects, we talked briefly about how many guys we need and that we can establish a core 4 using the pitching as one cohesive unit, because I want you to get used to winning pitching. If you can win the pitching, the rest of your roster should already fall into place. So the first thing you want to do, you don't want to fall in love with the big names. Oh man, I gotta get this guy. I gotta get Bryce Harper. I gotta have this guy in my lineup. This guy, Mike Napoli, you don't have to do that. First thing, hammer out your pitching. Hammer out your pitching first, and then the rest of your lineup will fall into place. Because what we do, we stack it. We want 3 hot bats and combine 2 pitchers to get us 2.6x on what we spend on the pitching. If we can start off our 2.6x with the pitching, everything else should come into place. That's where we want to get that 2.6 from. We want to get it from our pitching. So whatever we spend on pitching, we want that to be able to get us 2.6x value. That's where we're going to start. So this has been your DFS Jerusalem. This was a really short, quick video, calling the intro to MLB DFS on DraftKings. We also are going to have some stuff for our FanDuel players. Remember, I got you. Ride with me. I haven't brought you this far to do you wrong or leave you. We are still rocking in the sweatshop, and we're getting into MLB. Spring training kicks off, I believe, on the 24th. That's next Friday. And we're going to be rolling right back into the NBA next week. But you're going to be seeing these MLB videos. I'm going to be... Oh, and another thing. There's a few more things. This is a must. If you play MLB, this app right here, At Bat, MLBatbat.com, that is a must. That will help you sweat. Definitely get that. Also, I think that Extra Innings is going to be available pretty soon for you to purchase, and you can watch it on your Android or tablet. You want to watch as much baseball as you can. And I'm not going to lie, I watch every NBA game, but I don't watch every MLB game. I watch most of them condensed. And I usually follow. See, once I get, for me, this is MLB. This is MLB. Play people you know. Play people you know. The more familiar you are with guys, the easier it's going to be to fill out your rosters. There's like 5 or 6 teams that I know really well. And the slates are so juicy most of the time. These guys are always going to be on slates. And I feel really comfortable rostering when these 4 or 5 teams that I really know are playing. Because I'm so comfortable with them, I know how to play their opponent, and I know how to play them. So that gives me, 8 teams, 4 or 5 good games to choose from when most of these teams are on the slate. That's very important. You got to play teams you know. Of course, I live in the Charlotte area. The closest MLB team to me is the Atlanta Braves. I won a ton of cash with the Atlanta Braves last year. I've gotten to know that roster. I've gotten to know some of the teams that they play and that in the league that they play in. I'm a Yankees fan, so of course I know a lot about the Yankees. I know a lot about the Boston Red Sox because I'm a Yankees fan. And so I don't know every team. I don't know everything about every team, and I don't have to. You don't have to do that to be successful because this shit is so stack driven. I'm telling you, MLB is like stack central. If you stack the right bats on any given night, you can blow the fuck up. I'm telling you. And it's 162 games. So out of that handful of teams that you know, they're gonna be nights when you get the stacks right. And when you do, you're gonna blow the fuck up. I'm telling you. It is not hard at all. It is not hard. So come along with me. I'm your DFS Charisma. You can follow me, of course, on Twitter at DFS Charisma. We will be coming back live to you very soon with NBA. As soon as it picks back up, this is going to be a quick series on MLB. We're going to have everything you need to help you to become a profitable daily fantasy sports player, whether you play NBA or MLB. We also got some PGA kicked off in the Facebook VIP. My man Coach Stewart is getting it in. I'm actually sitting at the cash line fucking with him. So yo, sweatshop, appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for everything y'all been doing. You know what to do. When it comes to basketball, keep it 300. When it comes to MLB, keep it 130. And I am out.